Good afternoon, everybody. A warm welcome to you once again, watching, of course, here on Chukka TV. My name is Jan Eric. I'd like to cordially invite you to come and take your seats, of course, watching at home and around the world. We are in the third round, the third game of the Sieber Memorial 2021. Now, the only reason I'm holding my board up in front is because we have had a few name changes on the teams, on the lineup, as you might have been used to watching this game. In green, coming in with a win under their belt and a loss. I'll come back to that a little bit later. We have from Switzerland the young, very talented two-goaler Pierre Müller. Then we've got Gussie Bush at number 2, also playing off 2 goals. Henry Porter, the man from the United Kingdom, playing off 4 goals. And alongside him, we have Whistle Ace from South Africa. So a very, very international affair here for Barabossa Leather, as I say, playing in the green shirts. And behind me, you might see already one or two of the players of Santa Rita. We've got a youngster there, very talented young man by the name of Mickey Novijo Estrada, playing the number 1 position. He's off 0 goals. At number 2, Paquito de Navai, also playing off 0 goals. Then we have coming in for Juan Bellini, the 5-goaler, Gonzalo Del Rio Garcia, as I say, playing off 5 goals, which of course makes that team now also a 12-goal team. And at back we have Paco de Navai making up Team Santa Rita. Now they have not had such luck as Barabossa, who, as I say, came in with a win and a loss. Their first game, they lost to Dundas, 9 goals to 16. The second game was a very close affair. They won it in overtime, beating Newport, 12 goals to 11. Santa Rita looking for their first win. Their first game, they had to concede 8 goals to 9 against Dundas, and also their second to Newport, which ended 8-13 in favour of Newport. So a lot riding on this game for Santa Rita. I'll just have a little look behind me. I think I see all 8 players out on the field, just waiting for the umpires to come out this afternoon. We have, of course, got Gaston Dorignac and Francisco Ayala, our third man. I'm delighted he's going to be sitting next to me, the chief umpire, Mr. Steve Lane. So there comes the umpire. Time for me to get off the field and to wish you a very enjoyable afternoon here watching this final match of the third round of the Sieber Memorial 2021. I will be telling you a little bit more about what's going on this weekend here at Grand Champions Polo Club, and we have got a very, very exciting and busy weekend ahead. The action is going to kick off tomorrow with the finals of the Grand Champions Polo Club Champagne Open 2021, a Pro-Am tournament which has been going on for the last few days. You might have watched some of the matches. It was a round robin we played yesterday, was the second day of that round robin. And as I say, tomorrow morning, Saturday the 13th, we will be starting with the first little final for 5th and 6th place. Then followed by that, 3rd and 4th, of course, at around about 11:30. And then the final is scheduled to start at around about 1 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday afternoon. Again, of course, all for your viewing pleasure on Chukka TV. Sunday then kicks off with, a fun day, really. It's going to start off with the Boys and Girls Club Bright Futures Polo match and brunch. And as always, we will have Nacho Figueres with us for that. And then, of course, for a lot of you, I'm sure, with eager anticipation, looking forward to watching the second WPL final, the Founders Cup between Richard Mille and Hawaii Polo Life. That's going to start Sunday, our featured match of the week, of course, Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Let's now have another little look at these teams here. As I say, Sieber Memorial, the final round. There is, of course, the final yet to be played. We haven't yet been advised when that will take place. But we will, of course, keep you updated. Remember, you can get all the information. There's only one place for it, and that is Chukka TV. If you haven't got the app, make sure you get the Chukka TV app to have polo in your back pocket at any given time. You can find that on all the latest updates, information that you might need for going forward. Now, of course, once the Founders Cup is over, and I believe yesterday we had the draw for the third of our 4 tournaments of the WPL, the Palm Beach Open. And, of course, once that draw is made public, again, we will be bringing you more information about the players, of course, and how they are going to be lining up and how they're going to be drawn to play against each other. And then, of course, right at the end, the fourth and final tournament of this year's WPL, the Triple Crown of Polo. And then we move down to Miami Beach for the WPL Miami Beach Polo World Cup 2021. Very much looking forward to that. As you know, last year, of course, due to COVID, as so many great polo matches, also nearly half of the WPL had to unfortunately be cancelled. So it's great to be back here in southern Florida, in Wellington, the home of the World Polo League. Remember, the World Polo League, the highest level of polo played anywhere in the world, of course, outside of Argentina. And what better venue than right here? The conditions, we had a bit of a windy week throughout the entire week. Wind is slowly dying down. There is still, as you might see, some clouds in the sky. And the temperatures today, for the first time, are reaching the low 80s. So a little bit hotter and warmer than it has been the last few days. But still, with that wind, I'm sure making life a lot easier for the players and the ponies out there. And I think we're now just waiting, if I'm not mistaken, for the second umpire. As I say, we've got Gaston Dorignac out there, Francisco Ayala, and chief umpire, the man, the fountain of knowledge, as I like to call him, Steve Lane, who is going to be, of course, also watching this game. If you have any questions, any comments, please, we are always happy for any kind of feedback, any queries, anything you'd like to know, maybe some of the players that you'd like to get a little bit more history on, please drop us a line. You can do so, of course, on Chukka TV. So please let us know if you have any questions that we can get back to you with. Myself, of course, very much looking forward to the next tournament. Only just got here from the United Kingdom, from Germany, I should say. After the COVID, of course, making life for travel a lot more difficult than in the past. So very much looking forward to seeing how that draw will pan out for the next tournament. I think the players, well, they're moving around a little bit. The scoreboard just also being adjusted. Polo manager Cale Newman over on the far side there. I don't know how he does that. I've seen some of the youngsters go around on these single wheelie, well, I don't even know what you call them. I think I tried it once and lasted all of 2 seconds before I fell down. Good afternoon, Mr. Sieber. Good to see you. This is the right game. Absolutely good to have you with us. Absolutely. And like I said, just waiting now for the second umpire, who should be joining us momentarily. The players have already had a few moments, a few minutes just to warm themselves up. Of course, very important also at this level, at any level of polo, that you give your pony a little exercise just to warm itself up. They are, of course, not machines. They are animals, and pony welfare, of course, at any polo match, especially here at Grand Champions Polo Club, always very, very important. Here we have then the second mounted umpire, Francisco Ayala. And let me just quickly run you through the names again. So in green, Barabossa leather with Pierre Müller, the young man from Switzerland, playing off 2 goals. Gussie Bush at number 2, the young American. Henry Porter, then a man from the United Kingdom. And Whistle Ace, the man from South Africa. Both of those 2 players, Porter and Whistle Ace, each with 4 goals to their name. So Barabossa leather with a team handicap of 12. Santa Rita in the white shirts with a very talented young man by the name of Miki Novijo Estrada, playing off 0 goals. He's got the number 1 position. And another youngster, Paquito De Navai, also playing... Oh, he's playing off 1 goal, beg your pardon. And then we have the 5-goaler, Gonzalo Del Rio Garcia, playing the number 3 position, coming in today for Juan Bellini. And Paco De Navai taking the number 4 slot there at the back. So a very important job for him to make sure that not only does he send the balls back up the field, but also ensuring that no balls come through on his watch. So the players, I think any moment now, will be lining up. The ball will be thrown into play. We are, of course, playing 6 chukkers. And, well, I thought I just saw 2 umpires. And I'm just being told that second umpire is now also coming. I thought I could have sworn I saw 2 umpires. So any moment now, we will get this match underway. Very keen to see, of course, how Santa Rita, remember they coming into this third round of the Sieber Memorial with 2 losses, unfortunately, to their name. The first was very close, 8-9. They had to concede there to Team Dundas. The second, not quite so close, 8-13. They lost to Newport. And Barabossa Leather, as I said, beating Newport in overtime, 12-11, and also conceding to Dundas by 9-16. Let's do another quick head count. I think the players are getting a little bit impatient, but here he comes, that man we've been waiting for, the second umpire. Gaston Dorniak, of course, already out there. He's the man with the white helmet. Francisca Ayala, the man with the black helmet and the slightly off-red stripy shirt. That is the umpire, or those are your 2 umpires. And taking his seat on his throne next to me, chief umpire himself, Mr. Steve Lane. Here we go, and then best of luck, guys, as the ball is thrown into play. And it looks like the first touch of this game was taken there by Paco de Navai. And he was looking for his 5-goaler there, Gonzalo del Rio Garcia. And straight away, a little bit of a traffic jam, and the umpires immediately being called into action there. Whistle coming from Gaston Dorignac, just indicating exactly what he saw. A little bit difficult to tell when there are 8 players coming at you, and especially after a throw-in. Exactly, that's what I thought. Thank you, Steve. I was just about to say standing on the ball. And that, of course, is what we would call a negative play. We do not want to encourage negative play. Positive play, open play is what we're about. And now let's watch from the spot, a penalty 5A. It'll be taken here by the man from South Africa, Whistle Ace. It's going to be very important for Santa Rita to mark up here and not really allow the team in green, Barabossa Leather, to get too comfortable too soon. They are a very, very strong team. I saw them play last week, and especially the experience, of course, with Whistle Ace is going to make it a very, very tough nut to crack here for Santa Rita. Still no challenge. Well, a slight challenge, but really quite harmless, as Whistle Ace getting further and further into the half there of Santa Rita. We are, of course, coming to you today live from Santa Rita Polo Farm, and we're on Santa Rita Polo Field. Yesterday we played on Buenos Aires, which is the field just behind us, but let's go back to the action. Paco de Navai. Quite a little bit of work to do there. He's got 2-3 green shirts who, of course, want to try and capitalize on the fact that they've got the ball where they want it, which is in the half of Santa Rita. Chance here now. Well, he didn't hit that clean. That ball will just bounce over the sideboard, so a penalty 5A. Equivalent, if you will, of a throw-in in soccer. Now, back in the day, of course, until this rule was changed, they used to have a throw-in, a line out. The players would have to line up, and then it was a question of, who is going to win that throw-in. I think the rule that they now, once the ball goes out of play, is given to the opposition with a hit from the spot. Change of possession there on that play, which is why the umpires once again having to resort to the whistle. So quite a lot of whistling going on already very, very early on in this game. And a right of way violation, I'm just being told here by Mr. Lane. Also the reason for play to be interrupted. We're down to, I think, down to just under 6 minutes, and we've already had 3 whistles in this game. There's a nice little open catcher there from Whistle Ace. Nobody back home to pick it up. It'll be Denavai Paco. Remember, he's playing out there with his young son, Paquito. And we've had quite a lot of that throughout this game. Also in the Grand Champions Polo Champagne Open 2021, a lot of father-son combination, which is great to see. And I'm sure, Steve, you'll agree with me. Some of these young kids that are coming up through the ranks, absolutely incredible talents. So one thing is for sure, polo definitely has a bright future, and if you can play here at Grand Champions Polo Club, which I like to call the birthplace of champions, from a young age coming up through the ranks, it's great to see that we have plenty of great polo coming up for, I'm sure, the next few generations. Of course, we've got the Castagnola brothers, Camilo and Barto, also, who made their debut here last year, back in the saddle, playing for the World Polo League. And as I say, just to remind you, and I might be going on about this a lot, but I'm very excited, as I'm hoping, and I'm sure you are too. Sunday afternoon, our second big final of the Big Four, the Founders Cup. Richard Mille, who've already got a title to their name, they'll be looking for their second of the season, and they're going to be taking on a very, very tough team, Hawaii Polo Life. That whistle, there was a foul that was conducted there on the second man, and of course there's a no-no. The umpires duly have decided to place the ball on the centre. Penalty 5B in favour of Santa Rita, who, well, since that throw-in, basically, for the first time now, have a chance to actually find themselves in the territory there of Barabossa leather. So far, it's only really been taking place down at the Santa Rita end. Now, this field, of course, also running very much from north to south. The play now going down south, and that's a nice solid drive from Denavai. Looking, of course, for a white shirt to pick it up, but it'll be Whistle Ace, who just calmly controls the ball. He's got a nice bit of blocking going on there, allowing him to turn, and he does beautifully. A little bit short, that pass. Denavai will steal this one back. And another whistle. I'm pretty sure that looked like another right-of-way infringement from over here. Steve, are you nodding? Mm-hmm. Yep, thank you for just verifying what I thought I saw there. Now, of course, if you are new to the game of polo, very important for you to understand, first of all, to note that they all are only allowed to play using their right hand. Left-handed polo was abandoned, or abolished, I should say, back in 1974. So even myself and some of the world's best players, not that there was any connection there, I was never one of the world's best players, but I'm a left-handed polo player myself. Had to then, of course, learn how to take a ball and hit a ball with my right hand. And there are a few big names in the world of polo who have a similar, well, I wouldn't want to call it a handicap advantage, because it's all down to the muscle memory. And I remember once trying to actually hit a ball with my left hand when nobody was looking, of course, went absolutely nowhere. So I will very much stick to using my right hand. It's been a few years now since I've sat in the saddle, at least to play polo. And if you'd like to have a go yourself, of course, then please come and visit us here at Santa Rita Polo Farm. Director of Operations, Juan Bellini, I'm sure, as the rest of the team, would be delighted to have an assessment with you, put you on a pony, and evaluate your riding, your seat, of course, your ability to also hold a mallet, which, if you haven't done it before, is, of course, something you need to get used to. But as I said, they've been breeding champions here for quite some years now. So if you'd like to come out and have a go, have a lesson, and then maybe advance up to what we call stick and balling, be great to see you here. That's the pass from Santa Rita. Oh, it hit the post. You got a bit lucky there. That was, I believe, the youngster Paquito de Navai taking that penalty 4, beg your pardon. Of course, it was defended. Now, I'll come back to the penalties a little bit later. There are, of course, 3 immediate penalties right in front of goal. The open penalty number 2, meaning not defender, has a distance of 30 yards to goal. Penalty 3, they move the ball back another 10 yards. Again, an open goal. This very much designed, again, for the welfare of the ponies. In many parts of Europe, the penalty 3 is still defended, meaning as soon as the striking player touches or hits the ball, a defender may ride between the goalposts to try and block that. I think it's a great idea that they've decided to not do that here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Penalty 4 then, the final penalty in front of goal, is a distance of 60 yards to goal. The defending team can, of course, defend, but must allow a 30-yard distance from the striking player. And you will most often see that those penalty 4s will be struck as high as possible to try and loft them over those defenders in order to, of course, get the score. So right in front of the camera here, that ball going out of play. The team in green, Barabossa leather, and it's all going to be run through the engineer here. Whistle Ace, who just wants to centre the ball a little bit. He's got Porter now going for a run. I think he meant to send that a little bit further to the left, but Porter pushed away from that line, and that's the other very important rule and law in polo. is, and you might sometimes hear the players actually talking about or shouting, your line, your line. That's exactly what that means. Once a polo player has hit the ball, the line, like for example here, that ball takes, and the continuation of that line is your automatic right of way. Not even a smidgen of yourself or the pony can cross that line. That would be an infringement and takes away the right of way. Of course, again, a hazard. And what you can, of course, do is you can play the ball on the near side. Now, I did say that all the players are playing with their right hand, but that's not to say that you can't move your right hand across the shoulder of the pony and pick it up on the near side, as long as no part of your horse does so. And another shading call here. Now, shading is a little bit of a blocking. You can call it blocking, call it shading. And resulting into another right of way violation. You cannot shade and basically block, i.e. interfere a player once he's on that line. Again, a hazard, which the umpires here are very, very vigilant about. If, of course, there is no immediate danger, then the umpires can, if, like I say, there is no imminent danger, they can be a little bit more lenient. But like I say, everything around polo is geared and designed for the welfare of the four-legged athlete and, of course, the player, the two-legged athlete as well. As a result of that play, that shading, which, as I say, created that right-of-way infringement, we have a penalty situation, a penalty 3, so that is 40 yards, and as you can see, the goal is wide open. Whistle Ace in a nice calm little walk. Well, he does what he would normally do with a penalty 4, sends that one over the or through the uprights and high enough, and that is the first score of this third round match of the Sieber Memorial. And looking at the clock, I'm believing it's about 1:40. The sun's shining right onto that clock. Difficult to tell, but I can tell you with my still relatively in good working order eyes, we are down to just a little over a minute and a half. Oh, under a minute and a half now of this first chukker. Ball's thrown back into play, and of course it's always an advantage if you can win the throw-in to get into that offensive mode. A little bit unlucky there. We've had that happen, I think, the third time now on this side. The ball has just decided to just bounce over the sideboards. So another hit from the spot, and you might have noticed, again, this is for the newcomers amongst you watching out there on Chucker TV, that once a goal has been scored, they change ends. I'll tell you a little bit why and where that came from. A lot of these little snippets of information are all very nostalgic and, of course, have a history in polo. And if you ever get a chance to come down here to Wellington, we have the world's only and I think the most stunning polo museum, often featuring receptions and draws and all kinds of interesting activities. You can find out more if you're going to go online, but if you're ever down there, it's definitely worth a visit. So another whistle been blown, and we are down to I think that's 37 seconds now. Once the initial 7 minutes have elapsed, you will hear a horn or a siren or a bell. It depends. Some clubs use a horn, some use a siren, and that will indicate the players that they have another 30 seconds of extra time to play. However, should within those 30 seconds a whistle be blown, a goal being scored, that will automatically conclude the end of that chukker, again designed for the welfare of the ponies, because these ponies, of course, they're not marathon runners, they are more like athlete sprinters. And this time, again, a nice goal number 2 for Whistle Ace. So the second out of a penalty situation. No goal yet scored out of play. You might have in the background heard the horn that I was talking about. So that is end of chukker number 1. Remember, we're playing 6 chukkers. The players will go and change ponies, and I hope you will still stay with us for the second chukker coming right up on Chucker TV. Welcome back, everyone, and a very good afternoon to you if you've just joined us. We're coming to you live, of course, here on Chukka TV. We are at Santa Rita Polo Farm on the same named polo field, the Santa Rita Polo Field. And if you've just joined us, it is the third round or the third game for both of these players, both of these teams of the Sieber Memorial 2021. And on the field in the green shirts, Barabossa leather with a very international lineup. Pierre Müller, the Swiss young player of 2 goals. Gussie Busch. Then we have Henry Porter from the United Kingdom and the South African who's already scored twice so far. And that is Whistle Ace, and they're up against the team in white. Santa Rita with Mickey Navijo Estrada playing at number 1. And number 2, Paquito De Navai playing off 1 goals at 3. The 5-goaler Gonzalo Del Rio Garcia. And at 4, Paco De Navai making up Santa Rita, who have not had the best of starts into their third game. They trail by 2 at the end of that first chukka. Both teams, of course, playing off 12 goals. Quick pony change and the back out on the field. And kind of the way we started that first chukka very early on. A lot of whistling going on there by the 2 umpires. Let me just remind you who they are. Gaston Dorignac out there on the pony and Francisco Ayala. And next to me, chief umpire, Mr. Steve Lane. Play is called, and after that throw-in, the ball has been given and awarded to Santa Rita, who have come into their third match. Unfortunately, with 2 losses under their belt, they'll be looking for their first victory. But the ball once again in possession here of Barabossa leather. And that is Gussie Busch in the light blue helmet. Gives it to Whistle Ace. Porter going up. He wants it, but still no play made. Here it is out to the left-hand side. And that is where Henry Porter had to come across the field. Porter. De Navai will stick with him. Still Porter. The call there from Whistle say, I'm right behind you, mate. And he's left it. He's not going to go up. Though the game not yet quite opening up and having the flow we were hoping. But I'm sure that will change throughout the next few chukkas. A chance there for Gonzalo Del Rio Garcia to do something with it. But straight away, those green shirts are all over him. And that goal will go to the young man from Switzerland, Pierre Müller. He'll be happy with that. Pierre Müller, the 2-goaler there, getting the next goal for Barabossa. So very much, I think, Barabossa leather here in the driving seat, even though it's a little bit of a patchy game. But at the end of the day, I'm sure they won't mind. They're looking for their second win in the Sieber Memorial. They came into this game beating Newport in overtime. A very close game that was. The final score, 12 goals, 11. Had to concede to Dundas, 9 goals to 16. So they are looking, as I say, for their second win. And nice to see how Whistle, of course, a very experienced player, the South African, they're just also helping and advising his youngsters where to be. It's all about position. It's all about position. It's a bit like a game of chess. All of these guys are more than able and capable of hitting a ball very, very well. But it's not just about hitting the ball. It's also about marking up, supporting your teammate, and as I say, creating opportunities where the ball can be played to you to give you a chance to hit the target, which of course is at either end of the field. Doesn't really matter. It's a bit similar to rugby or American football. Doesn't matter how high the ball goes, as long as it goes through the uprights. Behind, you might have noticed, behind both goals we have a goal judge, or a flagger as they're called in these parts, who will indicate by waving their flags above their head if the goal is good. Having said that, the umpires, the mounted umpires, can always overrule that decision. We had that, I think, yesterday. The goal judge deemed the ball to be in, but it was overruled by the umpire. Now then, the young Englishman, Henry Porter. Porter getting instructions there from the South African. Still Porter. He will leave it and give it to Whistle. He's going to have to come back and pick it up. He's got a man appealing that he turned first. But nice little snap there. The open little backhand shot. Looking once again for Pierre Müller, the man who scored just a few moments ago. A swing and a miss, and a chance now for the number 3. Beg your pardon, number 2, Gussie Busch. Still very much in the danger zone, and that to me looked like another one of those right-of-way violations. They've got to be ever so careful, which is not always that easy when they're going flat out. You might think that you have the right-of-way, but of course if another player has already established himself on that line, on that imaginary line, which is very much of course in the under the watchful eye of the umpires, you know, you could be the culprit, unintentional. And I'm just going to give the players the benefit of the doubt here that 9 out of 10 times these fouls are unintentional. So you really need to keep an eye out from where traffic is coming from, looking around at all times and not just down at the ball. That's played nicely. Bush. Still Bush gives it back to, still Bush. He's weaving his way through those Santa Rita defenders. There's the near side backhander coming from the number 2, Paquito de Navai. He's got to be careful, a bit of pressure here. He's got a man on. There's the backhand to goal, a difficult angle, and it just, but ever so slightly goes wide. So again, the pressure very much here on Santa Rita. Barabossa leather, wanting to capitalise on any little opportunity they might see. We've had another whistle. Now, that's something I haven't mentioned to you yet. We have what we call a courtesy pony change. So the players are allowed more or less around about halfway through a chukker to, if they deem necessary, to go and change a pony. They must, of course, change their ponies after every chukker. That is a very important rule and law in polo. You cannot play a pony chukker after chukker. It must rest. And of course at this level 12 goal, I'm pretty sure that most of these players will have their string of ponies, and some of them of course will again utilize the strategy of when to bring out their quickest, their most agile horses. You will very often see that you might see a few more pony changes in the penultimate chukker, the 5th, or if it's a 4-chukker game, the 3rd chukker of course. So a strategy and a big signs going on behind also how the players come out and play their ponies. The grooms, of course, they will of course be already out on the pony lines just when they know there's a pony about to come into play, just to give them a minute or two, just to run them around, warm them up a little bit. It's a bit like when you go into any other kind of sport, just to flex a little bit, do a bit of stretching, get your heart rate going. So, quick pony change and the players are back out on the field. It was a ball that was tipped over the back line, and that means an automatic possession for the team. In this case, Santa Rita. Santa Rita, again, finding it very hard to get out of their own half. Whistle ace there once again, the last man standing, the number 4. Keeping the pressure very much on, and this could be a chance to run and a run to goal here for Porter. Porter immediately has, of course, some traffic. He's what we call has got a man on, but Gussie Bush will tuck in nicely behind him and try and take out that defending player to allow, in this case, Henry Porter, a nice clear run on goal. Had to pick the ball up there on the near side. The near side is on the left side of the pony, and the offside, of course, is the stick side where the ball will be hit. And what a difficult shot, what a great angle on the account. The goal number 3 there for Whistle Ace. He just timed that beautifully. He took it a moment or two, teed it up nicely, and all of a sudden it is 4-0. No score in the first chukker for Santa Rita. Twice Whistle had already scored in that opening chukker. Pierre Muna then started opening up his scoring account, the first to score in the second chukker, and now Whistle Ace doing the same again. And they've won the throw-in again. Remember, they're going north this time. They've changed ends, of course, they've scored. And there is the pushback to Paquito de Navai. Has a bit of space. Paco, his father, coming in to lend him a helping hand. Paco, of course, playing off 6 goals. Haven't seen that much yet of Gonzalo del Rio Garcia, who now might pick up this little ball. But again, Gussie Bush there. They're playing very, very highly concentrated here, anticipating the play and reading the play exceptionally well. Bush, again, a little bit of a melee going on over there on the far side. So the umpires again having to resort to blowing that whistle, and it looks like it's going to go in favour of Barabossa leather. To me, it looked like a crossing foul. So another, I beg your pardon, Santa Rita. It's gone in favour of Santa Rita. They did, you're absolutely right. So it's, of course, going down to the south. Barabossa would have to play the other way. So an opportunity here. It still looked to me like a crossing foul, though. And it was obviously Barabossa leather here this time committing the foul. And the umpires have awarded a penalty for. Now, that's the penalty I was talking about, which can be defended. But with a 30 yards distance to the striking or play or the defending team, play is called. And the idea now, of course, in an ideal scenario would be to try and loft this one high in the sky. And it's a chance here now for Gonzalo del Rio Garcia to step up to the plate. Gets his pony into very nice, calm canter. A couple of swings just to get the motion going. Here it comes. Well, it's definitely lofted, but it's gone out to the left-hand side. A player, Santa Rita, just got a piece of it, tried to keep it in play. Now, had that ball gone off a defending player and over the back line, we would then have the equivalent of a corner in hockey, for example, or in soccer, which would mean that from where that ball crossed the back line, 60 yards into the field, the attacking team would then have a shot on goal. We call that a safety 60. This wasn't the case. Santa Rita there trying to keep the ball in play, a little bit unlucky. As Henry Porter, look how he turns that pony around, and all of a sudden from defense into offense. He tried to send that one, I think, into next week. He's lucky to be able to pick that one up. He gets the support from Pierre Muller, who'll tuck in nicely behind him. Porter will give it to the Swiss, the young Swiss player. Muller trying to weave his way through. Well, you could see he was appealing there. He felt that he'd been unjustly crossed, had his right of way taken away, and this is a chance here for Santa Rita to break. Whistle ace as Paquito de Navai. Paquito just needs to check up, take aim. He takes a shot to goal, and Paquito just put that wide. Well, he had the time, he had the space, but that will be the adrenaline kicking in, of course, when you know you've got 7 players coming up behind you. He did everything right. It was just the finishing. But still, a great run from young Paquito de Navai. And of course, every time they play at this level, it's another very important notch of experience under your belt. And that's, of course, what makes the difference, having the experience. A chance now for Garcia. Gonzalo del Rio Garcia. You can see very clearly how he's got the line. There is the horn. He's going to leave it. There's the drive up to the front door. Maybe a second chance, or will Paco do it himself? Well, he went for the long-distance shot. It was definitely worth a go. It went wide. You've heard the bell. You've heard the whistle. End of Chukka number 2. Still no score for Santa Rita as Barabossa leather. We'll come back in a few moments with 4-0. Stay tuned here on Chukka TV. Welcome back, everybody, and once again, a very good afternoon to you, to those who are already watching and to those who've just joined us. We are here at Santa Rita Polo Farm on the duly named field, Santa Rita Polo Field, and the third round matches here of the 2021 Sieber Memorial. And so far, it has very much been a Barabossa leather, the team in green, affair. They have dominated the first two chukkers, having scored twice in the first, twice in the second, and they left the field just a few moments ago with 4-0. 3 goals already on the account of whistle ace, one by Pierre Müller scoring in the second chukker. Santa Rita haven't yet really found their rhythm in this very important game. And for those of you who've already been watching from the beginning, you know that they've had already 2 losses in this tournament. Very keen to be looking for their first win, and that was a clear right-of-way infringement there. The man with the number 2, Paquito de Navai, being crossed, i.e. that right-of-way being crossed under the very watchful eye of the 2 umpires, our mounted umpires Gaston Dorignac and Francisco Ayala. And as a result of that, the umpires really have no choice to award a penalty 2. That's a 30-yard penalty. Open, of course, not defended. And teeing up the ball there is the man with the number 4, Paco de Navai. Let's see if he's going to be the man to take it as well. Players being called. Now, as soon as the striking player touches that ball, the clock will, of course, continue to run. 6:56, I believe. The sun is shining straight onto that. No, it's not going to be Paco. It's going to be Gonzalo Del Rio Garcia, who will attempt to get the first goal of the afternoon. And, well, as my mother would say, we'll just draw a veil over that one, I think. But that is a strong reflection here of how it just does not seem to be gelling this afternoon here for Santa Rita. Now, those of you who play any kind of sport, especially team sport, you know sometimes you have days where no matter what you do, it just doesn't seem to want to work. Let's hope that something happens, and it happens soon, for Santa Rita to get that rhythm going, to put up a good challenge up against Barabossa Leather, who so far, as I say, have been dominating and dictating the run of play out on this field. Santa Rita. In again comes the near side backhand, solid and nicely taken. But there's always a green player on standby. This is where the marking up is so important. A chance possibly now here for Santa Rita to run away with it. Porter, he will send it back. He did well. He was looking for whistle ace, but he was a little bit too far out wide. It's going to be picked up by Del Rio Garcia. He will leave it. Paco, and then back to the man with the number 3. Now it is Paco. Paco de Navai. And it's Gonzalo Del Rio Garcia. That's what he told me. Ball back in play. Turned. Paco. Paco gets avoids the challenge there from Porter. Still De Navai. Porter there sticking very closely now. You can see how he just had to hold back there. Did not want to cross that line. Long drive down the field. Cleared, or has he cleared it? Where's the next player from Santa Rita? That would have been an open goal and a huge opportunity, and unfortunately with a hole in this manner, but it's drilled. Coming in from, I think, Gonzalo Garcia Del Rio. Finally, and let's hope that is the beginning of their comeback campaign. So the first goal for Santa Rita here. It took 2 chukkers and a few minutes here in the making. But that is goal number 1 for Santa Rita. So they come back to the centre. Let's hope that this will have a domino effect throughout the team. Motivate them to score a few more. But you can't be giving the ball away. This could be a very quick answer. And the response here from Barabossa. Leather, the team in green, and look how easy and how quickly the goals can also not be scored. It looked like it was going to go in, but he just slightly overcooked that. So Santa Rita will be happy not to have conceded another one just after they scored one. That would have, I'm sure, been a dampener within the team. So it stays 4-1. A whistle has just been blown, so that indicates another courtesy change. So the players will go, and they have now 45 seconds to get themselves on a fresh pony. You can see a very quick change. The umpires, of course, waiting. Now, this, of course, is at the discretion of the polo player. If he deems it necessary to change, he can. But if he thinks there is still some energy and some fuel left in the pony, he will, of course, stay on the pony. As you can see, for example, Pierre Müller, the young man from Switzerland, deciding to stay on his pony. And Pierre Müller, like I said, having scored in the second chukker, will be possibly looking to score another one too. So far, only 3 goals scored by Whistle Ace, twice in the first, 1 in the second. A goalless first and second chukker for Santa Rita, and then eventually Gonzalo Garcia del Rio getting that very, very important first goal for Santa Rita in the third chukker. At the end of this chukker, we will have a slightly longer break, not too long, as it is half time. Chance for you to maybe top up your iced tea, get yourself nice and comfortable. Conditions out here, as I say, absolutely immaculate, pleasant. Slight breeze, the wind dying down just ever so slightly, and I think the forecast for the weekend is it's supposed to get very hot. So that ball, as I say, having gone over the back line, will now mean possession once again for Santa Rita. But you can see how deep Barabossa Leather are standing. So the strategy seems to be working very much in their favour, and by standing in so deep, this pressing play is making it exceptionally difficult for Santa Rita to play their game. There's a little under the neck, takes it out to the left-hand side. Paco de Narvaez couldn't pick that one up again. Henry Porter all over the place, and all of a sudden that's a nice little pickup out of mid-air. Porter, Henry Porter, you can see constantly looking over his shoulder. He gets the challenge. Ball is still in play, despite the fact that the player might have gone over the sideboards. There is the pass from Paco de Narvaez, and he's found his number 1, Mickey Novillo Estrada, the youngster from the Novillo Estrada dynasty. Oh, nice pickup by Paquito de Narvaez. Paquito de Narvaez will open his shoulders. He's in shooting distance. And again, a mallet there, I think, from Henry Porter, just stopping that ball from going through. I think it would have gone through. So a little bit of bad luck here for Santa Rita. Another whistle. And a very clear, I think a very obvious right-of-way violation on that play. So how unfortunate there for Paquito de Narvaez. He did everything well. The pass came from Paco. And just robbed, you might say. Players called, quickly taken by the team in green. Barabossa Leather. Santa Rita now trying to, I think, play a similar kind of game, standing very deep in the opposition's half. A little backhand flick, didn't connect that not well enough. As Barabossa, again, Porter. There is Whistle Ace just picking up the loose ball, gives it back to Porter, but by that time there had already been a new possession on that line. Porter a little bit too quick off the mark, thought he might just get away with it. Umpires, as you can see, they have a different idea. And this is what I'm talking about when I say you've got to have really eyes in the back of your head to see where that imaginary line is, where it's coming from, and for you as a player not to cross it. Players called. As once again, Santa Rita here seem to be getting a little bit stronger now, seem to be slowly finding their rhythm a lot more than they did in the first 2 chukkers. Not wanting to take away from the very, very solid performance here by the team in green, Barabossa Leather. But it still, overall, has been a relatively patchy match here so far. I'm sure the players will be looking for that slightly extended half-time interval to maybe go through and reanalyse the strategy they came into the game with. I remember just before the game I went over to the pony lines and Whistle Ace was briefing his teammates exactly what he had in mind, and so far I think he has no reason to complain. That's a nice ball up and a hard ride off between the two number ones there, Pierre Muller and Mickey Novijo Estrada. It's turned around, picked up nicely. And there's a solid drive again. He's looking for his number one. The ball coming there from Gonzalo Garcia del Rio, looking for Mickey Novijo Estrada. He's slightly out to the left-hand side. Pierre Muller's with him. He went for the cut shot. Very, very difficult angle to pick that one up. And I think, was that Henry Porter? Whistle ace there. Oh, I see. A whistle on the play, and the player in the green shirt there thought he probably did no wrong. Thought there was enough space there for there not to be any dangerous hazard. The umpires have clearly, of course, right on that play, saw that slightly differently. As a turning call, I'm just being told. Turning on the play, you can't turn on the play. So, again, a very good call by the umpires, who've had quite a busy afternoon here in this game. So a big opportunity, a big chance here. Penalty 3, I believe, is the result of that for Santa Rita to possibly claw one back, which I'm sure read a lot nicer and look a lot nicer on the scoreboard. 4-1, 4-2, with a little less than a minute and a half to play in this first half. So important now that they don't, or that they capitalise on this. Yeah, that's what I thought, a penalty 3. And it looks like the man with the number 2, the youngster, Paquito de Navai, making no mistake and also getting his first score of the afternoon. So this is all of a sudden turning around quite nicely here for Santa Rita. I'm sure they will take a lot of motivation into the second half. We're just over a minute left to play. And I'm sure Paco and Gonzalo will be having a very, very stern and open conversation with their teammates as to how they want to play and turn this game around in the second half. A nice little cheeky steal there. Santa Rita once again on the march forward to goal under the next shot. Has he hit the target? It's a bouncing ball. Well, it was definitely an A for effort there. Big shot and a big opportunity by Paco de Navai. The whistle, the horn, if you will, has gone. 4-2. I'm sure Santa Rita will be happy. So the first goalless chukker for Barabossa there. So you can see Santa Rita can do it. Players are going to go and have a little breather, a get together. They'll be changing horses, of course, and I hope you will join us here on Santa Rita Polo Field at Santa Rita Polo Farm for the second half of the 2021 Sieber Memorial Round 3 matches. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. We're about to kick off the second half of the 2021 Sieber Memorial 2021 third round, or the third match for both of these teams. Barabossa Leather in the green shirts up against Santa Rita. And I'm sure to many of you watching at home, it was great to see that finally in Chukka number 3, Santa Rita, the team in white, managed to turn things around. It was a very one-sided affair in the first two Chukkas, a total of 4 goals being scored there over 2 Chukkas. Pierre Müller coming in with his first goal in the second Chukka, and the third for Whistle Ace. He'd already scored twice in the first, leaving the field at the end of Chukka number 2 with 4 goals to nil. No score in the first and second Chukka for Santa Rita. That's when they started turning things around. In Chukka number 3, it was then the turn of Paquito Denavai, and also the 5-goaler Gonzalo Garcia del Rio getting his name up on the score sheet. No score for Barabossa Leather in Chukka number 3. So again, wide open, and a chance here for Santa Rita, who I'm sure will have had a good team talk in that halftime interval to try and turn things around, as we are about to hear the word play being called. The last play before the halftime break, the ball went over the back line, so it's going to be a hit-in or a knock-in for the team in green. Once the umpire says play, not until he says play can the players actually knock the ball in to play. So just waiting for the umpires, as I say, to release and get the second half underway. Now, I did mention to you earlier, we are not yet sure when the final of the Sieber will be played. We will, of course, be announcing that in due course. Make sure you stay tuned here on Chukka TV for all the latest info. And another kind reminder, if you have any questions, any feedback, any comments, please feel free to drop us a note, drop us a line on the chat box here on Chukka TV, as we now crack on and get on with the second half of this 2021 Sieber Memorial third match for both teams. Remember, Barabossa Leather coming into this third game with a win and a loss to their name. Santa Rita still looking for their first win, and that is a great way to start Chukka number 3 here for the white team, Santa Rita. And Paco Denavai now also getting his name up on the score sheet. So everybody except Mickey Navijo Estrada having scored. Over on the other team, Barabossa Leather still waiting for Gussie Bush and Henry Porter to get up on the score sheet. So all of a sudden, things are on the up here for Santa Rita. And I'm sure that little halftime break will have done them the world of good. I'm sure that Gonzalo and Paco will have changed their strategy slightly. And all of a sudden, they're also winning the throw-ins. A possibility once again now here for Paquito Denavai. He gets the support from Paco on the near side. Can he just stroke that one through? He does. Well, who would have believed that? 2 very quick goals in succession here for Santa Rita. One coming from Papa and one from the son, Paquito Denavai. Now, 4 goals apiece. So it's just Mickey Navijo Estrada to score, but I'm sure they won't mind. It's 4 goals apiece. What has happened to Barabossa Leather controlling this game in the first 2 Chukkas? Maybe they took the foot off the gas in Chukka number 3, thinking this is a done deal, but it clearly isn't. And look, he's up and at it again. He's looking for goal number 3, which could take them into the lead. A hot chase there by Gussie Bush. A little flick of the wrist. That is how you play polo, and that is how you bring your team in the lead. So that halftime team talk will have done the world of good. Paquito getting his 3rd of the match. Now level with the 3 goals scored by Whistle Ace. And I think there's a lot of, complexion here, a little bit of a dumbfoundedness on the expression of the faces here of Barabossa Leather. They can't believe what's happening. Santa Rita all of a sudden right back in this game. And if you'd said to me at the beginning, after Chukka number 2, when they were down by 4 goals, that they would turn this around, and again they've thrown the ball in. It's going to be Paco Denavai. He's got Gonzalo right behind him. Gonzalo deterring those 2 green shirts to try and take them with him up the field, because here comes the drive. And it's up to the front door, waiting. Well, he was hoping to find Mickey Navija Estrada. He now, of course, would love to also get his score, but all of a sudden things seem to be working out just right here for Santa Rita. And Paco, well, you know, once you're at the eat as much as you like buffet, there you go. He's filling his boots. And Paco Denavai getting now his second in this chukker. 6 goals to 4, Steve. Even Steve, you can't believe this, huh?
No, some days you're the bug, some days you're the windshield.
Yeah, that's a good one. Some days you're the bug and some days you're the windshield. Well, they very much quickly turned it from being the windshield into the bug. I'm hoping I got that one right, Steve. But and they've won it again. And all of a sudden, they seem to be growing above themselves. Mickey Navija Estrada, he's clearly all of a sudden growing in confidence. He wants to have a crack at this again. Paco supporting nicely. Gussie Bush will turn this one around. Don't want to give the team a false sense of security here. This is far from over. And I'm pretty sure after those 4 very quick goals in succession here in chukker number 4, Barabossa Leather are going to have to get right back into this game. We have a whistle on that play. Wow, what a surprise. And what a turnaround here. So a courtesy horse change also being awarded or being given now with, I think, just under 3.5 minutes left to play. But this, if things go the way they have been, I mean, 4 goals in 1 chukker. That hasn't happened so far at all. The highest number of goals scored has been 2. And Paquito and Paco Denavai very much here causing an upset. An upset that Barabossa Leather, I'm sure, were not anticipating. And of course, we are playing 6 chukkers, and there is still plenty of time left in this, the 4th. And let's see how Barabossa are going to react to this. They've just been bulldozed. They've been rammed here by Santa Rita. So you can see a little halftime team talk, a little pep talk, and do the world of good to the players. Barabossa Leather, of course, very keen and very eager to come straight back out onto the field here. They have a job to do. So from 0 goals to 4, 6 goals to 4 now in favour of Santa Rita. They only started scoring in the third chugger, beg your pardon, and now again in the 4th. So after not even, I think, 45 seconds, that's the maximum time allowed for you to change opponent. They're all back out on the field. You can see the little group chat going on there. I'm sure Whistle Ace will be expressing his concerns to the team. So a hit from the spot was called before the courtesy change. It's in favour of Santa Rita. Can they capitalise on this once again? At the front there, Mickey Navija Estrada. Very hungry to have the ball placed on his stick side, of course. Nice little lofted shot, Whistle Ace. Even though there was a appeal, he did not cross that line. And coming back to pick up that loose ball is Paquito. But this time he crossed the line of the Englishman, Henry Porter. And I'm pretty sure that the umpires will move it at least to a penalty 5, be it from the centre, if not even further. Let's see what they decide to do. Now, the world of polo, if you're a polo player, you are well advised to never give the umpire any back chat. He can increase the severity of a penalty as they deem necessary, and it looks like it's not going to be a 5B from the centre, but a penalty 4. And I'm pretty sure that that's going to be a job for Whistle Ace. There you see the ball being dropped by Gaston Dorignac. So quite a bit of pressure now here on the South African. Whistle Ace, he's already scored 3 times. And I'm sure that this will be a very important goal for him. So the pressure now very much on the shoulders of Whistle Ace, who just wants to make sure that that ball is teed up nice and properly, preferably slightly elevated, so he can get his mallet head right underneath it to try and loft it, get the ball airborne to avoid or to, well, not allow Santa Rita to stretch and reach up into the sky. So let's see what Whistle can do here. It's definitely lofted, it's airborne, and it's, well, the goal judge raises his flag, so Whistle will be happy with that. Or has it been overruled? Hang on a minute. There's an umpire in the goal mouth. Just verifying with the goal judge how he saw that. Well, here it is. Official then. Whistle Ace gets the score. I did mention to you earlier that the mounted umpires can always overrule the goal judge or the flagger if in doubt. But the goal is given, and Whistle is also the kind of player who would be the first to admit if the ball hadn't gone in. Sportsmanship, very much a big thing here, of course, at Grand Champions Polo Club. So everything stands the way it happened, with a goal, and an important goal being awarded to Barabossa Leather. They're back in it. They trail by 1, but Santa Rita once again getting the better of this throw-in, and it is Denavai Jr. and Denavai Senior. Senior on the ball, waits for it to drop. He's got a man on him straight away. Whistle Ace coming in for the hard challenge there. Wants to get a chance to open his shoulders. He does, and he sinks it. No problem there. And that is goal number 3. A hat-trick for Paco de Navai. 3 in this chukker for him, 2 for his son. So that is 5 in total in this chukker. And they restore that 2-goal cushion. 7 goals to 5 with 1:43:42 left on the clock as they come back to the centre for a throw-in. Well, the umpire reluctant to release the ball. Ideally, you should have a clear passage before the ball is thrown into play. And again, they come out on top all of a sudden here. Paco looking for possibly goal number 4. Gonzalo, beg your pardon, but it's going to be Porter who sends it back. It's extended, but there's nobody in the green zone. Or yes, there is. And that looks like Whistle Ace to me. He's going to try and run this one himself. He's got Gussie Bush trying to keep up and tuck in behind him should he need his help. Beg your pardon, it's the man from Switzerland, Pierre Müller, who ran away with it. Not much Gussie Bush can do. Paco will, in the jaws of his own goal mouth, clear it, sends it out to the sideboards, just away from that goal mouth. That's all that is important now. We're down to 40 seconds left to play, and what a great chukker this has been for Santa Rita so far, having scored 5 goals. Paco de Navai. There is the siren, the horn. We've got less than 30 seconds now on the clock as they run it down. A little bit of a traffic jam right on the sideboards. Paco will come out on top. He will take the scenic route round the outside of those defenders. Just wants to clear it, get it away as far as he can. Slightly topped it. In comes Porter. He might get another chance. And a shot on this ball. Porter just hovering. It's going to be a little bit short. Oh, hang on a minute. Whistle Ace had a hole in his mallet. Paquita tried to pick it up. Well, that'll be all she wrote. And what a great chukker. 5 goals to 1 to Santa Rita. The total score then 7 goals to 5 at the end of chukker number 4. They're going to change ponies. You make sure you don't go anywhere and join us right back here. Santa Rita Polo Farm, Santa Rita Polo Field. Chukker TV for the 2021 Sieber Memorial 2021. Welcome back, everybody. Very good afternoon to you if you've just joined us. What a cracking game we've got going on here at Santa Rita Polo Field, at Santa Rita Polo Farm. It is the third game of the 2021 Sieber Memorial. And after a very, very shaky start for Santa Rita, after half-time, they came back all guns blazing, scoring a total of 5 goals. A hat-trick there by Paco de Navai and his son Paquito de Navai, also with 2 goals to his name, bringing the team right back into this game. They were trailing by 4 goals at the end of Chukka number 2. And by the end of Chukka number 4, they were in the lead, or they are now in the lead with 7 goals to 5. Barabossa leather stung quite hard here when they least expected it. Santa Rita managed to regroup, find their rhythm, and this young man is on fire this afternoon. Paquito looking for his hat-trick. That ball just going over the back line. Pressing now seems to be the strategy by Santa Rita. And let's see if they can make something happen here in the remaining 2 chukkers of this game. Standing very, very deep in the half of Barabossa leather, who might for the first time in a long time have a chance to break free. There's the hammer. It is definitely dropped and sends the ball back. Whistle will send it over the halfway line. Now a chance for the first time in a long time for Gussie Bush to pick this one up and run with it, but he was just slightly outplayed there, as once again Santa Rita getting the upper hand. Hard ride off here as they come towards the sideboards. Player with the number 4, man who just scored that hat-trick, Paco de Navai. Whistle ace. All of a sudden, a very busy afternoon in the office here. I'm sure not what he expected ahead of the weekend. I'll come back to what we've got planned for you here, of course, all to be seen on Chukka TV this weekend. A very, very busy and a fun weekend for your polo enjoyment. Make sure you tune in. Like I say, I'll come back to what we've got lined up for you in just a few moments. Let's go back to the action, because this game is all of a sudden really taking on a new dimension. Straight through the middle there, Paco de Navai, he's out in front. He's got a man chasing him by the name of Porter. One little touch is all it was going to take, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. One more goal for Santa Rita, and guess who? Paco de Navai getting a total of now 4 goals, and a very important goal. They are starting to run away with it. 8 goals to 5 for the first time now. A 3-goal cushion here for Santa Rita. Who would have thought? They are on the comeback trail, absolutely, and on fire all of a sudden. And a little bit of a look of dismay and disbelief, I think, on the faces there of some of those players from Barabossa leather. As I kept saying, they had the control, they were in command, they were in the driving seat. Maybe Gussie Bush now can find a little gap. He's done well, he's got Porter on his left. But Gussie Bush will take the left-hand side to allow Porter to take out the danger man. He's appealing. The umpire's whistle. Stay silent. Nicely picked up on the near side there by Pierre Müller. Müller, the man from Switzerland, trying to keep the ball in play. A little flick of the wrist to keep the ball in play. Gussie Bush, he knows, or he knew he was right behind him. Couldn't control the ball. And Santa Rita away. Off they go. Gonzalo Garcia Del Rio looking to send the ball up to the front. Mickey Novijo Estrada, the number 1 player, taking out his opposition to allow clear passage. This could be another goal for Santa Rita. And it is Gonzalo Garcia Del Rio gets another one. And that's actually his second of the afternoon. 9 goals to 5, so they've turned a 4-goal deficit into a 4-goal advantage. Good job I'm not a betting man, because if you'd have told me that was going to happen, I would have probably put far too much money on that. So good job I don't do any betting. 3:35, I believe, is what the clock is reading. The sun is shining right onto it. A chance here now once again for a courtesy change. Both teams will go and get onto a fresh set of legs. And it's going to be interesting to see what Barabossa leather are going to come back with. They need to do something. They need to change part of, or some whatever it is that they're doing, which they haven't been doing in the latter half of this game. They started off so strong. It was a little bit patchy in the beginning, but this game has come to full flourishing, blossoming, I would like to even say. 9-5 for Santa Rita. Well, like I say, would not have thought this was possible in a million years, but that is the beauty about this game. Anything can happen in a game of polo. 1 goal scored for Barabossa Leather in the last chukker. Whistle ace out of a penalty situation. 5 in total for Santa Rita. Latching onto that performance now with another couple of very quick goals once again by Paco de Navai and Gonzalo Garcia del Rio scoring the 9th, making it 9-5 in this, the penultimate 5th chukker. Players coming back out on the field. And Gussie Bush, who all of a sudden also became a lot more active in that previous chukker, and now also in the 5th chukker, on a few occasions there, just narrowly being denied a shot on goal. Santa Rita marking up very well all of a sudden, shutting them down early, not allowing them to get into a shooting position. And that strategy very much seems to be working in their favour. So they line up on the centre after that goal being scored. And then we will continue with the remaining, I think, little over 2.5 minutes left to play. Or 3.5, beg your pardon, in chukker number 5. Best of luck, gentlemen. Hope you're enjoying the action at home. Here on Chukker TV, I know I am very much. Pierre Muller, he's going to give this one to Porter. Now Porter on a flying pony. Look at that pony open up. He's getting away further and further. Just needs to keep his composure. Henry Porter, that is how you score goals made in England. Well done, Henry Porter. It was a long time coming. His first of the afternoon, but a very important goal, I'm sure. 6 goals to 9, but still a nice, comfortable cushion here for Santa Rita, who are just shy of 1 goal going into double figures. 3:08, I believe. Is that a 3 or a 2, Steve? It is a 3:08 going down to now just 3 minutes left to play in chukker number 5. And it would be nice to see Barabossa Leather coming back to make it a really exciting and thrilling final chukker and a half left to play in this, the 2021 Sieber Memorial, coming to you, of course, from Santa Rita Polo Farm and live, as always, on Chukker TV. Ball's back in play. De Navai on the half line, ever so slightly. He's got Paquito behind him. Nice the way to see how they're working very well together here. You see how Paquito there tries to take out the man with the number 2, Gussie Bush. Yeah, well, you'd call that shading, wouldn't you? Is that dangerous riding? I'm being told here by the umpire. Dangerous riding. Well, shading, I suppose, is also dangerous. Yeah, just a little bit too close behind that pony. And again, you see the umpire there just cautioning the players, saying, look, guys, you've got to be careful here. And I'm sure the players will acknowledge that. Gaston Dorignac, of course, alongside his partner in crime this afternoon, Francisco Ayala. Very, very experienced umpires, beg your pardon. Just explaining exactly what it is that they saw there. And whistle just being told, take it. That's how it is. So a penalty for an important opportunity here. An important opportunity for Santa Rita to possibly go into double figures. 9-6, 2:24, is it? 2:24 left on the clock. And I don't know what it is that they were speaking about in the half-time break, but it's definitely bared a lot of fruits, because the fruits in this case being the goals. Let's just have a look. They scored all of their goals as of chukker number 3, where they scored twice. 5 in chukker number 3, and already 2 again now in chukker number 5. And this could be goal number 10 and goal number 4 for Paco de Navai. Nice, long, calm approach on that runway or the catwalk. Opens his shoulders, drills it high. The goal judge raises his flag. No mistake. Well, once you've got your mojo going, once that flow is back, there's nothing stopping you. So goal number 5 in total for Paco de Navai, and double figures. 10 goals to 6. The 4-goal cushion for the second time being created here by Santa Rita. They must be over the moon. They've just got to stay focused now. There is still a bit of work to do. The weekend has not yet begun. And nice little backhander there from the number 1 player, Mickey Navijo Estrada. Sent back down the field. Gussie Bush will be the first man on that play. Whistle. Well, there's an appeal once again, but I'm pretty sure I could see Steve Lane there shaking his head. I also did not think that was anywhere near a foul. Gussie Bush, hard ride off there against Mickey Navijo Estrada. Whistle. A little daisy cutter down into the half of Santa Rita. It'll be picked up by Gonzalo Garcia Del Rio. Whistle will stay with him, and that could be a foul for riding into his swing. You could see that Whistle had his arms wide open. Coming over the top of the ball is what I'm being told here by Steve Lane. A foul against Santa Rita. So a very important phase of the game now here for Barabossa Leather. And reporter, the last man to score. Whistle A scored, and he converted also from a penalty situation in that last chukker. 1:14 left on the clock. Plenty of time for both of these teams, especially the team in green, Barabossa Leather, to come up with a little bit of magic. See, I'm getting all excited myself now here, Steve. Well, having, of course, been a polo player myself for many years, you can't help but feel the anxiety, the passion. It's a penalty, 3, and Whistle makes no mistake, sending that one deep down between the uprights. A great goal by Whistle. His let's have a little look. His 5th of the afternoon. Remember, he scored twice in the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and now 1 in the 5th. And a very, very important goal for the team in green, but it's about coming back to the centre now. The clock, of course, showing no mercy, will run down. It's about winning that throw-in. That's going to make all the difference now. Very often games are decided, as I mentioned to you at the beginning, in the penultimate 5th chukker. Umpire just wanting a clear passage. Here we go. Ball's released, comes into play. It's picked up. Oh, it's a big mistake possibly here, as Porter will be thinking, thank you very much. I'll take that one. You might have heard the siren, the horn in the background. Porter wants to get another quick goal before they go and change ponies for the 6th and final chukker in really what has been a most memorable and exciting match. It started off a little bit shaky, but it got more and more exciting as we went through the chukker. It all really turned at the top of chukker number 3, and it was all uphill for Santa Rita and a little bit downhill for Barabossa Leather. There is the final horn, end of chukker number 5, 7 goals to 10. Santa Rita in a very comfortable position. We'll be coming right back here on Chukker TV for chukker number 6. A very good afternoon for the sixth and final time. I just had to catch my own breath here after that superb chucker we just saw here at Santa Rita Polo Farm on Santa Rita Polo Field. Santa Rita, let me just go through this for those of you who've only just joined in. Welcoming in the weekend. I'll come to what we've got planned for you in just a few moments here on Chukka TV, so make sure you take a note of that. But let's just go through what really has been to say the least, a very controversial match, a very exciting match between these two teams. Santa Rita in the white shirts came into this game not really quite knowing what it was all about, and they trailed by 4-0 at the end of Chukka number 2. It was very much a Barabossa leather affair, dominating the game, and then things took a turn in Chukka number 3 when Santa Rita finally got on the score sheet with a goal scored by Paquito de Navai and also by Gonzalo Garcia del Rio. That was the turning point, the pivotal point in this game. No score in that Chukka by Barabossa Leather in Chukka number 3, and then it was all in Chukka number 4. 5 goals between father and son, Paquito and Paco de Navai, bringing their team right back into this game. 1 goal only scored there by Whistle Ace in Chukka number 4. Chukka number 5, Whistle managed to get a late goal there, converting a penalty for, and there was also a nice goal scored by Henry Porter, but it just wasn't enough. The damage had already been done. It was 10-7 at the end of Chukka number 5. 3 were scored also by Santa Rita, again twice Paco de Navai hitting the target, and once by Gonzalo Garcia del Rio. They left the field at the end of Chukka number 5, 10-7. That is where we stand, and that's where we are right now as you join us here for the 6th and final Chukka. I'd like to also very much say a very good afternoon to John Sieber, who is here this afternoon. I did see him somewhere. He's behind us. Good afternoon, John. Nice to have you with us, of course. You really got this one cut out for us, Pete. I mean, what a thrilling game we are able and allowed and fortunate enough to be watching here live, of course, on Chukka TV at Santa Rita Polo Farm. And it's all now down to the boys in green, Barabossa Leather, who have it all to do to try and turn this 3-goal deficit around. They've got a little over 6 minutes to do so, to, as I say, try and get their second victory. They've already had a victory and a loss. Santa Rita looking for that very, very important first victory in this 2021 Sieber Memorial. As we now rejoin the action with a hit from the centre. Penalty 5B in favour of the team in green, Barabossa Leather, and it'll be tapped into play by the young man from South Africa, Whistle Ace. Now, before I forget to tell you what I've been telling you, or I meant to tell you, that, of course, the action here over the weekend, and we've got a fun-packed and filled action program for you this weekend here at Grand Champions Polo Club. Tomorrow morning, then, as of around about, well, just bear with me as I watch the traffic jam building up in front of that goal mouth. In front of that goal. Let me get back to what I was about to say. So tomorrow morning then, very much looking forward to having you tune in on Chukka TV for the finals of the Grand Champions Polo Club Champagne Open Tournament 2021. We've had 6 teams compete in that, a Pro-Am tournament where some of the amateurs have been able to play and ride alongside some of the world's best, the world's elite polo names. A couple of 10-goalers, of course, also amongst the players tomorrow. So that first final will start at 10:30 for 5th and 6th place. Thereafter, about an hour later, we will have the subsidiary final for 3rd and 4th. And then, of course, at around about 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we will have the final of the Grand Champions Champagne Open 2021. So make sure you tune in for that. Also on the field, you will see Mr. Nacho Figueres as we go back to the action, and a nice little and a very important goal scored there for Barabossa Leather. I believe that was the man with the number 1, Pierre Muller, the man from Switzerland, finally now also getting his well overdue goal on the scoreboard, a very important goal. Let's have a look at the clock. Once the players, 4:57, so plenty of time and 2 goals in it. It's all about possession now, winning those throw-ins, but Santa Rita have grown in strength and in motivation, I think is the appropriate word here, to try and turn this game around. They've done a great job. Whistle Ace, they're being challenged by the young Paquito Denavai, an appeal on that line. The umpires are not having any of it, saying play on. Whistle Ace gets the challenge and possibly here just beaten to it there. The young man from England, Henry Porter. But Whistle keeping possession, knocks it over the halfway line, wants to send it back to Porter. It's not where he wanted it. Paquito faking the backhand. Porter a little bit too slow off the mark there. He was trying to force that foul, force that infringement. There's a call to Larecha to the right. It'll be picked up by Gonzalo. Whistle there coming in for a very hard challenge. Well, I think you would call that a blocking or a reaching foul. Right in front of the eyes, of course, of the umpires. And that, of course, is also a no-no. You cannot just reach out like that. So the umpires, I'm pretty sure, will award a penalty 3 at least. Oh, beg your pardon, a penalty 4. A penalty 4 is the call. So, as I was saying, back to the weekend then. So tomorrow, as of 10:30, the Grand Champions Polo Club Champagne Open. And then the action continues on Sunday. A fun event. The Boys and Girls Club Bright Futures Polo Match and Brunch. Again, of course, delighted to have him with us, Nacho Figueres. And then, of course, what a lot of you, I'm hoping, are waiting for with bated breath and anticipation, the final of the Founders Cup, the second of our 4 high goal tournaments, all part and parcel of the World Polo League. Of course, this in its 3rd year. We have 4 tournaments, but I'm sure you already knew that. Sunday then, 4 o'clock at Grand Champions. Oh yes, that's a very good point. Thank you very much. I'm just being told, don't forget this weekend to turn your clocks ahead. You get an extra day or an extra hour day, but you lose an hour's sleep, so make sure you don't forget that. That'll be happening on the night from Saturday going into Sunday. So, big opportunity here to maybe once again restore a little advantage of 3 goals. Paco Denavai, a penalty 4. Not as high as you would have liked, but nevertheless, it finds the target. Well, when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. Paco now getting goal number 6 and gets that 3-goal cushion back restored. 3:38 on the clock. And we're going to have a quick courtesy change, the last change of the afternoon. For me to just once again maybe go into a little bit more depth about what's happening this weekend. So as I said, we've got some of the world's best players, of course, here at Grand Champions Polo Club, having descended for the 3rd year of the World Polo League. And Grand Champions Polo Club brought into life a very, very interesting tournament, a round-robin tournament where amateur players have the opportunity to play with some of the big names, some of their idols, to learn from them, of course, but also play with them on a field in a competitive tournament. That is the Champagne Open, they call it, the Champagne Open here at Grand Champions Polo Club. And we've had the first 2 days of round-robin play yesterday and the day before. And tomorrow then at 10:30 we will have the finals. The first, as I say, playing for 5th and 6th place. Then the subsidiary finals for 3rd and 4th. That's due to start at about 11:30, and then 1 p.m. the big final. So make sure you tune in for that. Sunday morning then, this lovely family tradition here, the Boys and Girls Club's Bright Futures Polo Match and Brunch, also with Nacho Figueres. And then on Sunday, as I say, I'm sure a lot of you are looking forward to enjoying a nice afternoon watching Chukka TV and the final of the Founders Cup. Here we go then, boys. Best of luck to both teams. They've really thrilled us here. I hope you've enjoyed the action this afternoon on Chukka TV as we now watch the young man from Switzerland. That is Pierre Müller, Pierre looking to try and get a little bit deeper into the half, a little under the neck shot. He's got a lot of defenders. Paquito there coming in for the challenge, but it's left. Well, he's gotten back to the front. Here we go. That looks dangerous. Can he put it through? I think that was number 1. Yeah, that was Pierre Müller. It was either Pierre Müller or it was Henry Porter. No, then I think that goal very much on the account there of Pierre Müller. He'll be over the moon with that. 9 goals to 11. They still have plenty of time. 2:21. Oh, it was the 3. Beg your pardon. It was Henry Porter. Yeah, I wasn't quite sure. Henry Porter. It did look a little bit... they have a very similar colour helmet, which can, of course, make things a little bit confusing. Porter. Definitely that was his backhand. He's looking to feed the ball either to Gussie Bush, the number 2, and, of course, Pierre Müller now on the far side. But it's landed at the feet once again of Paco de Navai, Gussie Bush and Müller. They need to allow the right of way as he sends it back over the halfway line. Who's going to get to it first? Ooh. Ooh. Well, once it went over to the pass came from Paco. It was sent back, and I'm also a little confused. The 2 umpires just verifying how they saw that play. Whistle Ace coming in, wanting a definition and an explanation there from the umpire. That's what I thought. A violation of the right-of-way caused by Gussie Bush. Not something which you want at this stage of the game, because with 1:44 on the clock, 9 goals to 11, a penalty 4 against you. And that means Santa Rita, who so far have been doing and converting all of their penalties from the penalty 4 spot. This could be the beginning of the end in this 6th chukker. Well, I tell you, Santa Rita, it's just incredible really what the mind can do and how that can be relayed through what the body then does. Concentration, focused, head down, getting on with the job at hand. As Paco de Navai, he's already scored 6. This could be his lucky number 7 as he just tees up the ball. You can see it's a penalty for 60 yards the distance. And interesting to see that Santa Rita are also within very, very close distance to those goalposts. They might just have to nudge it in, a deflection, and we've seen that happen often, but I don't think there's going to be any need because that one is high in the sky. But is it straight? Yes, it is. I did say the lucky number 7 here, Paco de Navai, getting his 7th goal so far in this chukker. Both teams having scored twice. Pierre Müller finally getting his name up on the score sheet. Henry Porter also with a goal, and 2 on the account of Paco de Navai. Back to the centre they go. Of course, the clock running down. 1:15 by the time they get back to the centre. They need to be quick. Ball's released. Who's going to win it? Gussie Bush? No. It's Whistle Ace. But he's getting the pressure, being pushed back further and further. Whistle will try and find a little gap going round. He's up against Gonzalo. Gonzalo just sticking with his man. This, of course, all costing valuable time. Now he's established himself firmly on that line. There is the ball along the sideboards. I think he's found Porter. Porter will extend it with a one-touch shot, looking for Pierre Müller, who has to ride hard to get that ball and get the line. He did well in the ride-off, but just couldn't reach out far enough to pick up that ball. A deflection coming off the mallet, I think, of Henry Porter, but the ball has gone over the back line. And we've heard the first horn. The whistle, beg your pardon, the final 20 or 30 seconds need to be played. And Santa Rita will now just want to clear that ball, get it as far away from their goal mouth as they can. Novijo Estrada will try and challenge if he can, beg your pardon. Well, it doesn't really matter because it's all over. 12 goals to 9, the final score. Well played to both teams. Congratulations to Santa Rita, turning what was the nigh impossible and made it possible. Well done, Mickey Novijo Estrada, Paquito and Paco de Navai, and of course Gonzalo Garcia del Rio turning this game around. It's been an absolute pleasure and joy watching this game. I hope you have enjoyed it as much as I have talking about it. I hope you can just about see me. I might just have to put my sunglasses on. That is all we have to give you this afternoon here from Santa Rita Polo Farm. Like I said, tomorrow the action continues, of course, 10:30. Don't forget to turn your clocks forward tomorrow night going into Sunday. And don't forget to tune in Sunday afternoon at 4 for the final of the Founders Cup 2021. See you there.